made you feel that feeling that you know you felt before. A feeling you can only ascribe to when you were a child, when you had no responsibilities, when your only goal in life was to have fun playing with your friends or with your siblings. This feeling is called nostalgia. Google defines it as a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. So why do we feel like this for a gaming console? Well, the truth is, some of you might not. Nostalgia is something that is strongest for things that you grew up with. So if you're too old or too young to have attachments to the Wii, you won't have it. Nostalgia for consoles can be broken down into each's generation. For example, the Nintendo 64 typically includes people 25 to 40, the GameCube includes people 20 to 35, and the Wii includes people 10 to 30. Now this is definitely a rough estimate. There are people much older and much younger for each of these. But you may be wondering why the Wii includes a wider array of people than the other consoles. Well, two reasons. First, the Wii was a huge, massive success with over 101 million sales. And second, the Wii U was a flop, and it didn't really take the Wii's place. This video could really apply to any console generation though. But for this video, it's about the Wii. So first of all, what gives us nostalgia? Well, anything can, really. It's just something that you have a positive memory of in your past. So it could be a place, a song, a toy, or of course, a game. But why the Wii specifically? Why is this the console that is just so nostalgic? Well, the Wii was kinda universal. If you didn't have a Wii, you probably had a neighbor or a friend or a cousin who had one. And this is because of the widespread appeal of the Wii. It had games for Nintendo fans, games for exercise, apps to shop, to watch movies, to check the news, to check the weather, and what feels like everything else. The Wii didn't sell like crazy because it had powerful hardware or intense games like other consoles. It sold because anyone could use it. A simple design and games that made it intuitive for new customers who had never even played a video game. If you had ever played tennis or golf or even bowling, you could have fun with the Wii. It's the same story for the PS2 and why it became the best-selling console ever. Not only was it a gaming console, but it doubled as a DVD player, creating a widespread appeal to people who didn't even play games. But tons of sales aren't the only thing that create nostalgia for a console. You also need something about that console to be nostalgic towards. And the Wii had two things that really did this. One, the Wii menu and Wii branded apps, and two, the games. The Wii was the first Nintendo console to have a modern menu style that we still use today. The GameCube and DS also had menus, but the Wii's is way more in-depth, and more similar to that of a smartphone nowadays. And unlike the Switch, the menu actually has personality. It has music, its own graphical style, and that funny thing it does when you click on an app.
Brothers.
The Switch, on the other hand, is just a gray screen with square icons. Probably the most boring console interface ever developed. The Wii's menu felt perfect, but if you go back without any nostalgia at all, you might not think that way. Nostalgia is something completely subjective after all. But the menu wasn't the only thing built into the Wii. It also had channels. These channels could be used for anything, but probably the most famous one of them all was the Wii Shop channel. I mean, just listen to that music. And now listen to the Switch's eShop theme. Oh, it doesn't have one. This isn't the only thing that the Switch is missing though. It's also missing the Miis. I mean, technically you can still make Miis, but it's just not the same. The Mii Maker on the Wii is infamous. It's better than every future installment of the Mii Maker. And it has this fun little lobby area where you can see all the Miis you've created. Not to mention the music is super iconic. But these little things pale in comparison to the Wii's biggest selling point. The games. But the Wii's games are quite mixed. There's a ton of shovelware that's just a cash grab, but the more popular Wii games are really good. Super Mario Galaxy is considered to be one of Nintendo's best games ever made. The music, gameplay, mechanics, everything feels like it was expertly crafted. When talking about nostalgia for the Wii, this is one of the first things I think of. Wii Sports is another game that's quite nostalgic. This game wasn't a masterpiece by any means, but it's one of the most popular games of all time. And it's one of those games where you can just play it with anyone. From your grandma to your 3-year-old little brother, everyone could understand this game. And there are so many more examples of this. Skyward Sword, Metroid, Mario Kart Wii. The Wii had some of the most popular games of all time, and each felt like they were doing something different with their respective series, innovating new ways to play and to have fun. And even though most of these were basically gimmicks of the controller, the Wii was different from any other console at the time. Even today, where motion controls are hardly used outside of VR, the Wii showed us how they could be used to create new experiences for old franchises. Despite the fact that every gamer will say a different console is the most nostalgic for them, for us who grew up with the Wii, it's one of the most fun experiences that we had as a kid. But every console generation will have this one day, thinking that their childhood system is the best, that their respective console has the greatest features. The Wii and every other gaming console is just one of the many vessels of nostalgia that we experience. It allowed us to have fun during one of the most important times of our lives. It created memories that have shaped the rest of our lives. And while this phenomenon has happened for thousands of years and will go on for many more, this little white box is one of our memories. A box that holds a piece of our childhood. Thanks for watching. See you later.